What's up, everybody? It's me, Marisa Moon from MyLongevityKitchen.com. And I started My Longevity Kitchen to provide you with so many nourishing recipes that help us to maximize food nutrients while cutting out toxins, but still eating a traditional foods diet. And life has taken me in so many directions since I've got my Primal Health Coach certification, and I want to put more content on My Longevity Kitchen. So I thought about getting a guest blogger when I came across Rivet Root on Instagram, which is MJ, who you're going to meet right now. Say hi, MJ.
Hi.
So I found MJ because she lives in Indiana, and so do I now. And she posts all these fascinating and inspiring photos and stories for us to follow along as she is on her local food journey. And I recently became very passionate about local food, not only because of my primal health coaching education, but because where I live now, it seems easier than ever for me to meet local farmers and to stay connected where my food comes from and support that community. I feel we've lost a connection with our food, understanding the way nature operates. And it's like our food travels from all different countries just to hit our supermarket shelves, picked long before it was ripe. And we don't even realize what this is doing to our bodies or our entire community. And so I thought it would be so nice to have MJ come on MyLongevityKitchen.com and write us a 3-part series about why and how to eat local. So MJ, I think maybe you should tell us a little bit about how you got into local eating.
Thanks. Well, about 5 years ago, I graduated from college and got married, and all of a sudden I could do what I wanted with my food. I could buy what I wanted, could get food from wherever. So I had a couple of friends that really started influencing me. One of them told me a little bit about how raw milk was way better for you than the pasteurized, homogenized, very sick cow milk that we usually get from the stores. She told me about a farm where she got her milk, and the cows eat grass or sprouts all year, and so their milk is just really clean and delicious. And so she got me hooked up with that. And the way you do that in Indiana, the way you can do it legally, is by buying into basically the herd of cows. So I have a share in that herd and get a gallon of milk every week. And then around the same time, one of my good friends started up a little a bread baking business. He's a baker, and he wanted to make it into a more full-time gig. So he's actually out in Oregon now, starting a business that's doing really well. But at the time, he just had this little tiny bread share. He asked a few of his friends. He said, "Hey, do you want to get bread every week from me?" And he really enjoys making sourdough bread with kind of a traditional fermentation method, which makes the grain a lot more digestible, and it's a lot healthier, and it tastes really good. So here I was getting every week I would get a gallon of milk and a loaf of bread, and I was like, this is great. Like, it was beautiful. It was delicious. It wasn't that much more expensive than going to the store, especially for the value that you have. You can go to the store and buy a fancy loaf of bread for $7, or you can get it from your friend who bakes it. So that got me excited about it. And then I actually started working on a farm because I had some experience working on farms and in gardens during college. And I loved that kind of work. I loved working with my hands. I loved being outside all day and working with people. So I started getting a weekly vegetable share as well. So here I was getting milk and bread and vegetables, and the farmers that I interacted with on a daily basis started talking to me about how soil has a health just like our gut microbiome, and started telling me all these things about industrialized farms and factory farms, and just the difference between the level of nutrients, for one, and like you were talking about, the number of miles the food has to travel. So I just got really excited about that and kept adding one by one, trying to source my food locally. I started butchering chickens at a farm and getting chickens every week or every couple weeks for that. So, I was kind of just adding on things. And then about a year and a half ago, my husband started having some pretty serious health issues. We think we had black mold in our apartment. So that kind of made that even more important. And then last year, I contracted Lyme disease. So all of that just made it kind of moved it from being a hobby to a necessity, because we've seen really big differences in our health when we are very intentional about keeping our food local. And I really think that I probably would be bedridden if it weren't for the things that I was able to incorporate that I already knew once I realized I had Lyme. It's kind of hard to implement if you don't do it one step at a time, but I already was doing a lot of things like that, and so I'm doing a lot better than I think I would have if I hadn't discovered those things. So that's kind of where I'm at now. We're not perfect. I had sushi from a plastic box last night, but it's one step at a time, and I'm really excited.
And you're a mother too, so that must impact the way that you feed your daughter. Is that right?
Oh yes. Every morning I feed my daughter an egg with sauerkraut on it, and she loves it. So it's exciting to see her eat things most kids don't want to eat.
Right. All we have to do is give them a chance when they're young, and really it's just natural to be attracted to those flavors and develop the microbiome so early to make a robust and healthy child.
Yep, I love it.
Well, I wanted to quote one of your Instagram posts because it's the one that really made me reach out to you. And you said, our bodies and ecologies always pay a price for convenience. I feel blessed to have access to all this goodness, both proximity and affordability. There are adjustments that need to be made, but the benefits far outweigh the inconvenience. You do go out of your way, I've noticed, with a lot of the crafty projects that you do and really going out of your way to find a local source. Isn't that right?
Yes, absolutely. But part of it is just I enjoy it. One of the first posts that I made on my Instagram was going to pick strawberries. And I could have gotten the car and driven to the store and walked into the supermarket, grabbed a plastic box of big fat red strawberries that are kind of sour. You know how they usually taste at the store. Or I drove a couple minutes longer and brought my daughter with me, and we spent the afternoon out under the sunshine picking strawberries. They were so sweet. I could just eat them right off the vine. They said it was okay. And came home with these gorgeous strawberries that tasted so much better than the store. And was like, it was a little more work, but it was a good price. And so all in all, we could have gone to the store and then gone for a walk, or we could have just picked strawberries for the day. And it was great. So
I love it.
I consider it, more valuable, even if it seems maybe a little less convenient at the time. I think it's a good concept that someone named Katie Bowman, she's a biomechanist and kind of a primal foods advocate as well. She calls it stack your life. And I think it's a great way to implement getting more than one aspect of your health into one activity.
Yes, like you're moving and using physical activity. You're also doing family bonding and community bonding. And then on top of that, you are getting more nutritious food, correct?
Exactly. It's everything at once. It's perfect.
Yes.
I love it.
Brilliant. Well, in this part 1 of our series, you are telling everyone why eat local. Why should they even care? And I appreciate that you broke it down into very clear and realistic reasons why it would actually matter to the reader. I love that. You said you've never been particularly environmentalist or even green before you started caring about the microbes in our soil and how our food got to your plate. So thank you for making this article so approachable. And we have a lot to look forward to because MJ's writing part 2 about all the ways that you can eat local, even if you're not going to go pick your own strawberries. And part 3 is going to be taking action. How is this going to fit into your daily life? Is that right, MJ? Did I get it right?
Absolutely. I'm really excited about it.
Cool. Well, I am going to post the direct link to this article in the notes on our YouTube channel, but I can make the URL up in my mind right now. We'll do mylongevitykitchen.com/eat-local-1 because this will be part 1. I will let everyone know when it's live, and we are excited to have you, MJ. Follow her on Instagram at Rivet, Root. That's RIVETROOT.
Actually,
Sound
sorry,
good?
there's an and in there. Rivet
Oh,
and root.
Rivet and Root.
Yes.
So RIVET and Root, ROOT. We will put that in the notes too. Don't even worry about it. Thanks, MJ. Have an awesome day today.
Thank you too. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.